A very good afternoon to all my dear students. Hope you all are safe and stay in your home. During this tough time, I request to all of you to maintain social distancing, wash your hands. If anything very urgent, then you move out from your home. Otherwise, you stay at your home. During this COVID-19 crisis, your study should not affect it. That is our main concern. So, we started different modes of classes in upcoming days. So I, Dr. Prateek Khanna, faculty of Business Research Methodology, started the unit for topic sampling. So before starting the sampling, first we understand the different concept related to the sampling. First thing, that is population. Population refers to any group of people or object that form the subject of study in a particular survey and are similar in one or more ways. It means refers to any group of people. Means there are n numbers of groups. Out of that n numbers, you have selected your own number. It means A to Z you have to select A, or it may be a X, or it may be a Y, it may be a Z. That is what population. Element. Then element comprises a single member of the population, means on which you have to study. The element comprises a single member of the population. Then comes sampling frame. A sampling frame comprises all the elements of a population with proper identification. Now you have to remember, for an element comprises a single member of the population, not the entire population. It is a single member of the population. So sampling frame comprises all the elements of a population with proper identification that is available to us for selection at any stage of sampling. For example, list of registered voters or number of students in an institute or university, or it may be a telephone directory. So what do you mean by sample? It is a subset of the population. It comprises only some element of the population. Now the important term is some elements of the population you have to study, not all the population. It is impossible, or it is very difficult to study the entire population. So sample means it is a subset of the population. It comprises only some element of the population, not the entire population. Then sampling unit. A sampling unit is a single member of the sample. It is a single member of the sample. So what do you mean by sampling? Simple, it is a process of selecting. It is a process of selecting an adequate number of element from the population, so that the study of the sample will not only help in understanding the characteristics of the population, but will also enable us to generalize the result. Means it is the process of selecting an adequate number of element from the population, so that the study of the sample will not only help in understanding the characteristics. So the question comes to your mind, what do you mean by sampling still? So sampling, in simple term you can say element from the population. So then come census. What do you mean by census? Now sometimes questions come, what is the difference between a sampling and census? A census means an examination of each and every element of the population is called census. When we talking about each and every population, now suppose in a village there is a population of 18 lakh. It means when we talking about census, a complete enumeration means an examination of each and every element of the population, means total 18 lakh of people of that village have to be studied. But in a sampling, what we have taken a 20% or 10%, or it may be any number. So what is the advantage of sample over census? So sample saves time and cost, because what we have to do, we have not studied the entire population, we have a subset of that population. It means out of the whole population we select few. So a decision maker may not have too much of time to wait till all the information is available, because it is very difficult to study the entire population, because it takes a time as well as cost. So there are situations where a sample is the only option. Suppose in an India the population is more than 130 crore, so it is impossible to study the entire population. So what you have to do, you have to take a subset of the population, means you have to take a 10, 20 or whatever the percentage of that population which you have gone for the study. So there are situations where a sample is the only option. So the study of sample instead of complete enumeration may at times produce more reliable result. So a census is appropriate when the population size is small. Now census work, when census work, when your population size is very small. Now it is very easy to understand when the population is suppose 1000, 2000 or 3000, then it is very easy to study the entire population. But when these numbers more zeros adding, it means lakhs or crores or more than 10 crore, then it is difficult to study the entire population. Now that is what the difference between a sample and census. So do one thing, relate a one real life example of sampling by own. So we have to discuss in that particular example in the next class. So what is the difference between a sampling versus non-sampling error? Sampling error. Now this error arises when a sample is not representative of the population. Now sampling error, this is a very important topic we have to know when you conduct a research. This error arises when a sample is not representative of the population, means whatever the sampling you are chosen, it is not a representative of the population. It means suppose your study is related with kids and your sampling population is the people who more than 18 plus years of age, means the students of the institute or the student of the university. It means this error arises when a sample is not representative of the population, because your sample is not representative of the population, because your study is related with the kids consumption pattern. So it is obvious that your sampling should be related, or sample should be related with the kids, not the age, the people who are more than 18 plus years of age. Then non-sampling error. This error arises not because of sample. This non-sampling error arises when the representative of the population, but because of other reason. So what are that reason? The error can arise while transferring the data from the questionnaire to the spreadsheet. You all heard about or all know about the spreadsheet. So the error arises while transferring the data from the questionnaire to the spreadsheet. Now whatever the error comes, that is called non-sampling error. Then the error can be at time of coding or tabulation, means representation of the data, and computation. Population of the study is not properly defined. So these are the non-sampling error. Or respondent may refuse to be a part of the one particular segment of your questionnaire. So non-sampling error means the error arises not because of a sample, but this error arises due to transferring of the data, due to the coding of the data, tabulation, or it may be a refusal part of the respondent. So there may be a sampling frame error. So sampling method can be classified into two categories: probability sampling and non-probability sampling. So first we started a probability sampling. So what do you mean by probability sampling? A sample has a known probability of being selected. In that sample, that a known probability of being selected. Non-probability. Sample does not have known probability. That is what the difference in these two. The sample does not have known probability of being selected, as in inconvenience or voluntary responses service. So what probability sampling is? So in probability sampling, it is possible to both determine which sampling unit belongs to which sample. Now we have to very much clear about, in probability sampling it is possible to both determine which sampling unit belong to which sample and the probability that each sample will be selected. Means whatever your study is, you have to assure that each sample will be selected. So how this possible? So the following sample methods are example of probability sampling which give the answer of the last slide. Simple random sampling, stratified sampling, cluster sampling, systematic sampling and multi-stage sampling. So these are the methods of probability sampling. Again I repeat, probability sampling. In probability sampling, it is possible to both determine which sampling unit belong to which sample and the probability that each sample will be selected. So these are the different methods of probability sampling. So now look at this example. Now this is what the population, this is the entire population, but it is impossible to study this entire population because we have not have that enough time, or it is impossible to study the entire population of this village. So what we have to do, we have taken some sample group. Now see, this one, this one, this one and this one. It means in all these three segments we have selected the sample. We have not say that we are ignoring this third one. We are taken from this particular population, this particular population, same for this. So that is what the sample group. But when we talking about the census, it means we have to study the entire population. But in sample group, we have to select few. So simple random sampling. What do you mean by simple random sampling? Where each and every item in the population has an equal chance. Where each and every item in the population has an equal chance of inclusion in the sample. This doesn't mean the entire population you have to study, and each one of the possible sample in case of finite universe has the same probability of being selected, like in the last case. Now this is the what the population. It means if we have select only these two, it means we have leave this population. So it means we are not giving the equal chance of the population. So what we have to do here, we have doing the given the equal chance of the population, that we have to find a sample group. Hope it's clear what is the difference between a census, sample, population and sample group. So simple random sampling, where each and every item in the population has an equal chance. What we have to do, we have given the equal chance of the entire population. So next come stratified sampling and cluster sampling. Now this is a little bit complex as compared to the simple random sampling. So we started the stratified sampling. Now what stratified sampling is? Stratified sampling is possible when it makes sense to partition of the population into groups. Now remember, stratified sampling is possible when it makes sense to partition of the population. It means you have to part your population into groups based on a particular factor that may influence the variable that is being measured by you. So these groups are then called strata. An individual group is called a stratum. So while stratified sampling, one should partition the population into groups. It means what we have to do, we have a population, but we have divided that population into 4 strata. Obtain a simple random from each group and collect data on each sampling unit that was randomly sampled from each group. So that is what the stratified sampling is. It means when you have a partition of the population into group based on a factor that influences the variable that is being measured. So when you conduct a stratified sampling, first thing that you have to remember, partition the population into groups, then obtain a simple random from each group which you have select, collect the data on each sampling unit that was randomly sampled from each group. It's called strata. So stratified sampling, when it works best, so stratified sampling work best when a heterogeneous population is split into fairly homogeneous group. Means that sample work when heterogeneous population is there. So you have to use this sampling when heterogeneous population, okay, then it gives a better result as compared to the other sampling. So under these conditions, stratification generally produces more precise estimates of the population percent than estimate that would be found in a simple random sampling. That's why we use a stratified sampling. Now come to this example of stratified. Now see, this is the population example of stratified. Now what we have to do, we have divided into three examples. Population, now all people in India, so it is very difficult or it is impossible to study the entire population of the country. So what we have to do, so we have divided into groups or strata, 4 states. That zone may be an east, west, north, south. What we are doing, obtain a simple random sample. Obtain a simple random sample. It means 500 people from each of the 4 zones. It means 500 people from the north, 500 people from the west, 500 people from the south, 500 people from the east. It means 500 people from each of the 4 zones. This one. Obtain a simple random sampling. So sample is equal means 4, this one 4 into 500. Now 500 means 500 people in each zone. It means 2,000 people selected for the study. Clear? Then example 2, all PSU inter-college athletes. All PSU inter-college is athletes. So 26 PSUs teams are there. So what we are doing, we have 5 athletes from each of the 26 PSU team. 5 athletes from each of the 26. So sample is 26 into 5 is 130 selected athlete from all PSU. Same for this example, all elementary students in the local school district. We have 11 different elementary school in the local school district. So 20 students from each of the 11 elementary school. So the sample should be 222 selected students. Now this is what the stratified sampling work. That is an example of stratified sample. Clear?